Okay, this is going to be crazy, but I have tried to record this several times on my laptop, and either the video goes out or the audio goes out. So, frustrating, but we'll get through this. I wanted to record a video of the end of the semester. Last night we did a Zoom class where I kind of addressed these situations and provided some more insight. If at the end of this video, if you have additional questions, please feel free to post them in Blackboard, send me a text, or give me a call. And let's keep you on track. Okay, teaching philosophy. If you have not completed your teaching philosophy, go ahead and start looking at that. Go back to your artifacts. What were the main topics you kept revisiting over and over and over again in your artifacts and reflections? Those bandwagon or soapbox topics, that is your teaching philosophy. So take those topics, expand upon them. If you take segments out of your reflections, that's totally okay because it's your reflection. And look at how those topics would look like in your professional practice as a EL teacher. So one of the ways that you can complete your ePortfolio is LiveBinder. So I wanted to take you into LiveBinder so that you could see it as an example. So let me pull back a little bit here so you can see my computer screen. I know it's kind of crowded. LiveBinder is pretty self-explanatory. Basically, what you need to do is just think about it as all these pages with a tab in between. So this is the edit tab view that you're looking at right now. It is where you can post things and add it and then organize it. And then I'll show you the published view in just a minute. So I just kind of did this, but under me, I have, come on, let me close this out. I have my teaching philosophy and my resume. These are called subtabs right here in the yellow. These tabs, you can have it hyperlinked so that the document pops up when you have it, or it can pull up here on this topic. If you already have the items in your, just so you know, I went to add content. And then if you already have it in your drive, your Google Drive, it's really easy to pull it up. Okay. Website links, you can upload them, videos, very easy, very common sense type of program. So this is one way that you can do your portfolio and then have your links. Another way you could do your portfolio, and I kind of talked about it last night, but I didn't have it all together. I had a student one year do it on a Google Doc, and everything was hyperlinked. So they had a brief introduction about themselves in the portfolio, and then the teaching philosophy was hyperlinked to their document, and the CV was hyperlinked. Then in here, they just had their quote or picture, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then their artifact and their reflection, all hyperlinked. If you are more comfortable doing Google Docs, PowerPoint, I've actually had students use Prezi before. Feel free to use the one that you feel most comfortable with. The idea behind using another format outside of Blackboard is so that when you are trying for a new position and after McDaniel has ended in your life, you will have access to the ePortfolio whereas a lot of times it's in Blackboard. Once you leave the college, it's gone. So we want to make sure that you have access to it. So tons of examples. You don't have to do LiveBinder. If you're more comfortable with something else, feel free to do an alternative. The big thing I want to point out to you, actually I was coming over here first. In classroom documents in Blackboard, there is a document that says presentation and e-portfolio rubric. Really look at that document, because what I do when I'm assessing your final thread posting is I go in here and I say yes or no. And that's even before I start grading it. I just look, okay, is there a selection of artifacts? Is there one for every standard? Yes. Is there descriptive text telling me about that standard? Yes. Reflective commentary. Is your reflections there? Okay. And then I start to get into the nitty-gritty about navigation. Is it understandable? Do I know where I'm going from step to step? What about usability? Please don't put blue and green together. That's really hard. Same with yellow and white. Very difficult to read. Then writing conventions. Do you have good grammar in there? And then I didn't get that out correctly last night, and I should have, but it was brought up that the multimedia, that's the picture, the GIFs, a video or cartoon or something, that's optional. So the picture is not required. What is required to have on each page is your descriptive text. And what I mean by that is if you come back over here, this is your picture quote. This is your descriptive text that needs to be visible, kind of giving you an introduction to your artifact and your reflection. So it can be a quote out of your artifact. It can be, I've actually had students that all they did is went to the TSL website and took a sentence out for each standard. If that's what you'd like to do, feel free to do that. But I do need an introduction here. I don't want that to be a reason that you lose some points. Okay? So LiveBinder is not the only one mandated. You do have some options, but it's there. I will put this up as a sample. I'll clean it up a little bit more, but put it up there for you to look at. All right, so you've seen LiveBinder. And then your final presentation. Let's talk about your final presentation. You have a choice to do your final presentation over the phone with me, or you can record it. If you record it, I typically have students that have recorded it on PowerPoint, and then each slide has their own recording. So that's an option. When you are doing your final presentation, you're going to pick your top 2 favorite artifacts. Something that spoke to you, whether you learned the most from it, the biggest aha, whatever. I want to know those top 2 artifacts. You're going to share them as if you're talking to somebody else. Okay? If you do the phone call with me, it's going to be an open dialogue. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to add input. It's going to go back and forth. Feel free to do that on your recording. What do you really want people to get to know about you or to get to know about your portfolio? And keep in mind, it's less than 15 minutes. So to give you an example, I've already been talking for about 10 minutes. Not a lot of time to really go in depth. I just want to know, do you know it? And a good point was brought up last night. It is not a dissertation defense. It's not a thesis defense. It is just a presentation about what you learned. And we want to cover all that information. All right, next, final steps. Here you are. You got just a little bit more to go. We're going to be there pushing you all the way up. So for your final steps in your class, and some of you, it's the final steps in the program, I want you to finish your artifacts, reflections, and other items. Remember, I do not grade anything. I only grade what is in the very final discussion thread. So even if you have it up there and you forget to put it in your portfolio, it's as if you didn't do it. So make sure your portfolio has all the required components. So finish those up. Complete your live binder or your portfolio. You're going to record or present your portfolio. When you get your portfolio ready to present, and you want to do a phone interview, all I ask is for like a day notice so I can make sure my kids aren't around causing confusion or disruption, and that I can be focused on you. Review other students' portfolios and provide them with feedback. Feedback from peers is one of the most valuable types of feedback there is, just as student-to-student communication is valuable. Okay? So give them feedback. Expand your toolbox of resources. This class, you get a chance to grab a lot of different resources. If you take something of somebody else's, just ask permission first. If you haven't learned yet, education is beg, borrow, and steal. But we prefer you ask permission first, then go on there. Now, Shannon, I think you're going into administration. Administration, the theory is different. It is, don't ask for permission first, ask for forgiveness. So sometimes that rule changes because administration, if you know it, you can't do it. But if you know what you want to do, and you know they might say no, you do it anyway, and then say, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up. And so you always ask for forgiveness. Okay, you will also get an online evaluation on me. So complete that. I do look over the feedback that is provided. I do not see who wrote what, but it is shared with Derek and myself, and we do look over it. So please provide that online feedback. It should be coming to your McDaniel email fairly soon. And then relax, it's almost over. Or for some of you, it is completely over. Grades are posted within 24 hours after the class ends. So hopefully you get the information you need to post. All right. So I think that is pretty much it. I made it under 15 minutes. But seriously, please let me know if you have any questions, any concerns. And I will be getting the final items back to you soon. Thanks. Bye.